Hello.
Good afternoon. You're with Rob and Tracy at the Orlando, and we have big smiles on our face, although I have no idea why. Our trip's been cancelled for this year. We'll move swiftly past that because I'm going to cry again. We've known for a couple of weeks actually, but we haven't been normal human beings enough to talk about it actually. All feels a little bit over dramatic for a holiday. I do understand for our non-Orlando friends are thinking, my goodness me,
I'm not upset, you're upset,
it's a holiday,
I'm not crying.
And we understand, and there's nothing we can do about it, but we've been swinging between furious and sad and
toddler like a tired toddler tantrum,
tears and tantrums, and we've raged against the political issue and the everything, but ultimately there is absolutely nothing we can do about it. We can't change our holiday times off work, so there's nothing we can do about it. Our only other option would be to go. The only other time we could do a 2-week stint would be literally over Christmas and New Year. Crowd level wise and stuff, that is not an option for us.
We were sort of on plan K or J now. I think we passed that. But I was looking at the crowd calendars and like the park bookings for Christmas, thinking maybe we can sneak it in and get in there.
That's not an option.
No,
really.
you can't even get a booking for the park. Universal you can get to because you don't need the booking obviously, but Disney you need the park bookings, reservations, and you can't get them for love nor money. So
we just don't want to go at that time of year when it's too crowded. Plus we've obviously got to get a cat sitter to come and a house sitter, so we don't really want to impose on our cat sitter that she leaves her family for Christmas and comes and stays here. Seems ridiculous. So we've accepted it, although very grudgingly, and we are still pretty raw about it.
But on the other side of it is, I think we had this conversation earlier on in the week that if we had £1 for every time somebody says, "Oh, are you still going to Orlando in the summer?" we could pay to stay at the best hotel in the world. We could go to Dubai for 2 weeks in like the 7-star hotel.
I think it's because everybody thinks that because we're from the UK, you're now allowed to travel to amber list countries without quarantining when you come back, and you absolutely can. But unfortunately, obviously for our non-UK vloggers and people that don't know, they just happen to watch because it's us. The USA borders are not open. President Biden has not opened them for leisure travel to UK citizens. We waited and waited and waited and hoped that would change. And
it's not good. Not in 2 weeks. Yesterday we were supposed to go, so there's no way that's going to happen in 2 weeks.
So
it's all the political machinations. Like we've had the AstraZeneca drug, and AstraZeneca is not licensed to be used in the States, so they're saying they can't be sure they need to be.
They need to get FDA
approval. And AstraZeneca are doing it to get the approval so it can be used worldwide, and unfortunately it takes 2-3 months to go through the process.
So that's what we're hearing is possibly one of the reasons why there's a stall. Maybe it's just they're not quite ready for us. I don't know, but anyway,
it's just mean.
It's just mean.
Mean boys.
So. We've been trying to spend. We've spent the last couple of weeks basically trying to get our heads around it so we can speak about it without crying or throwing something.
I bet the amount of times I've nearly burst into tears at work is frightening. You think I'm joking? At the moment, I could cry if the Andrex puppy gets stuck in something. Genuinely,
I think it's because it was cancelled from last year, so we've just got such high hopes. But like we said, there's nothing we can do about it. So there are lots of bad things about that we can't stop thinking about. The fact that we're just not going to Orlando this year, which is devastating. There's not going on the Velocicoaster this year to be watching and waiting. No Velocicoaster, no Dapper Dans.
Another year we're not going to get to go on Hagrid's.
We got
son of a
all the food,
biscuit.
What you're going to say then? All the food that we have been dreaming about and thinking about, and it's all gone. We were dead excited because the Food and Wine Festival at Epcot was going to be on early, so we're going to catch
one of our favourite festivals.
Gone. So
travel the world, drink, plate of food, beer, wine, cocktails.
Not happening. Devastated. Not going to meet all of our favourite power couples: Mickey and Minnie, Chip and Dale, Donald and Daisy, Chris and Susan. See what we did there? Chris and Susan, here to be magic. I tell you, you have got a job on your hands, you guys. If you...
Sorry, I'm not sober.
You need to, we're just going to be following you. We do anyway, as you know, but you need to do some... We need to be in the parks with you virtually, like, all the time, because we're seriously struggling at the moment.
Yeah.
So there's lots of, negatives about it, and we're trying not to focus on those, because there is nothing we can do about it. We cannot rebook for September, October, we cannot do any of that. So we are where we are.
It sort of started, I mean, the only bright light in all of this has been Costa Coffee new
Orlando mug.
I went off brand, I went with Costa, so still sort of on brand for me. The only sort of like bright light we've had in this whole thing has been Dial of Light, and they've been golden, especially like Glenn Blackburn we've been dealing with. The guy's been absolutely golden, rings us up, hey guys, how you doing? Are you doing this? Do you want to do this? Listen, and then we got the Dial of Light app, and it has your itinerary on there, and your car, booking your flights and everything. And I was checking it every day, and then you wait for that dreaded thing where you click and it says update your app, as you do.
Your itinerary is
update your itinerary, and it pinged up, and it went this big yellow box across the top, and it says, please contact your travel planner. And I'll just do it now to show you. And then that's the normal, your opening page. Click on, okay, and then you get the yellow bar on the top. The bar of death, I call it. Warning, the itinerary below may not be the latest version. Please contact your travel manager for more information. Yeah. And when that popped up, I went, oh, bugger.
It's happened.
For the want of a better word.
It's happened. To be fair, Glenn rang us straight away,
yeah.
Told us what the problem was, told us that Virgin had cancelled all flights. We think up until the first week in August.
Second now.
Oh, was it the second of August?
Now, yeah.
So they're obviously hopeful things are going to pick up after that, and for all of our UK vloggy friends that we watch, we're keeping everything crossed that you get to go, because you're going that bit later than us. So we hope,
like you guys,
hope.
Universally speaking, Pickle Vicks, Air Florida Adventures, you're all going. All we'd ask you is the first one there. Please get us some park maps, and we'll pay the postage.
Yeah, can you send us some park
maps? Please, park maps.
We'll have to look at the new updated park maps.
Yeah.
But anyway, we are keeping everything crossed for all of you that you get to go on your trips. We really are, because we're going to be living vicariously through you guys for the next however long, because there's not a lot we can do. We've discussed potentially going to Disneyland Paris later in the year. I'm not saying that's not going to happen, it may do. At the moment, we're still a bit reluctant to book anything that's potentially going to be cancelled.
Yeah, because it's everything, as we say, it's a constant state of flux. Everything, like one day, well, it literally, not even one day to the next. It's like in the morning, you'll say, oh, this is great. Like we were talking about this with some guys at work. One morning, the guy I was working with was going, I'm going to Mallorca, and my missus, I'm going to get home, we're going to book it. And after lunch, he had his lunch, he was like, oh man, look at this, now Menorca, we're just going on the amber list again there, so we can't book that. Yeah. I was like, this is it.
It's changing for the better, and we're not saying we won't go, but at the moment, we're not planning to book it, because it's all too, and we're still a bit sulky, to be honest with you. Also, we were quite prepared to pay for any tests, PCR, whatever we needed to get into Orlando. I'm slightly less excited about parting with £200 or £300 extra to go to Paris for 2 days. Yeah. So we'll see. So that's all the bad stuff. So that's our sulky list, isn't it?
Yeah, the sulky bit.
I've actually written down things. So and that was the other thing as well. We couldn't get excited about it, could we? We had our countdown board, which we used to talk about all the time, and we actually stopped counting down the days because we
chucked you in the drawer.
We actually did realise that it was
depressing us looking at it.
It was potentially not going to.
That happen. Was my daily routine. I'd get up, have a wash, then I got like my little man cave, stroke dressing room sort of thing. We got to the front of the house. And as I went in there, my first job in the morning, I'd like get my shirts on for work, and go and update the board and go. But every day I looked at it, and I hadn't updated it for a week and a half, 2 weeks. And the other morning, she had a clunk and a clatter. I opened the drawer, we keep the camera gear, and I was like, yeet, get out, done. Done.
Because we were just too, normally when you get excited for a holiday, you get you buy things and you're planning, but every time we made a booking for somewhere, or every time we thought about something, we were literally thinking, this might not happen, this might happen. So, Ogre's Cantina, we got a reservation, woo! Might we be going, might we not? We didn't go shopping to buy things for the holiday.
The skip a canteen as well.
Yeah, and
lunch for there,
breakfast
and
at Riviera, the
Riviera,
breakfast, and all of that. But we couldn't get excited about it because we just kept thinking, oh gosh, what if it doesn't happen? And so there we go. So I think we were, we get quite miserable about that. So good things.
Yes.
Good things. Let's
onwards
move on.
and upwards.
Let's move on. Let's
put a pin in that now. Forward.
Move on. We might still cry later, but we're not on camera. So
I still might.
True. Next year's trip happening already, obviously, because we're just hopefully moving everything over again. This time we've decided to up the ante and potentially, not potentially, we are looking at staying in a Disney resort and not the value resorts either. So
spending time with loads of kids.
So we are looking to up the ante because we've missed 2 years. So we're like, yeah, right, that's happening. We're going to stay somewhere really, somewhere on property and just go the whole hog and just do it all. So that's the plan. We obviously will be saving for yet another year. So that translates to us to more merch, more presents.
It's like we were watching Ear to Ear Magic on Friday night. Now I was live streaming from Hollywood Studios, which literally one of my favourite parks. I love it to bits. And I did Rise of the Resistance. They came out and there's as you come into Rise of the Resistance, there's 3 or 4 carts with Star Wars and Rebels merch on, and I was like, I buy that, I buy that, I buy that, I buy that, I buy all of that, I buy a set of them, I buy one of them. Normally she's like going, oh, there's a phrase in the Black Country where we're from saying, hold your horses, hold your horses. She was like, yeah, go for it, we get there. Yeah, we're having another case. Regardless, you're buying another case.
So a year's worth of extra spending money, so that seems like a positive.
With an iPad maybe.
Yeah. Also I've written down, hasn't it?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we were thinking that more rides might be open by the time we go, because obviously we would have missed Remy's, which we know is opening on the 1st of October, we wouldn't have seen that. And then you just by this time next year, we're hoping that maybe
Tron might be open, or Guardians
of the Galaxy,
Cosmic Rewinds, TM,
Space 2020,
the restaurant
and all of that, or whatever it is, 220, and all of those sort of things. So hopefully there'll be potentially more things open or nearing completion. So there's a chance we might get to try more things. Also, we'll be there for part of the 50th anniversary celebrations, which we wouldn't have done if we'd have gone in July this year. Like we were mentioning.
Still would have seen all the decorations up for it, but they wouldn't be doing the special stuff what they do.
All the special things. So that's a positive. That's exciting, isn't it?
Yeah. Can we just say something controversial here? Everybody's been started all the fireworks back in all the parks again, and they do look spectacular. I'm not saying they don't. They do look spectacular. But we've all sat there. We're like, oh, that's nice. Fast forward. I'm not a big fireworks. I like fireworks for 5 minutes. Not 25. After 5 minutes, I'm like, I've got a stiff neck and I'm bored now.
So we will be the people that while the fireworks are on and everybody's in Main Street,
Seven Dwarfs Wine Train,
galloping around everywhere else going on.
Go!
So that's good. So delighted your fireworks are back, but not for us. What else have I got?
Also want to see the Stargate at Epcot as well.
Oh yeah, we want to see that. I've also got that maybe. Character meet and greets might be back by the time we go. They definitely wouldn't have been this July. They probably will be by later on this year even.
Fingers crossed, I mean.
But definitely not for us, I don't think they would have been if we'd have gone in July.
No, I mean, even now with that, even with the character meet and greets, we were watching Nate, Page and Mr. Morrow this morning, and he's at Animal Kingdom, and they had the boats go around the park, like river. And I think that's brilliant, they should keep that. And what they've been doing with the characters, like driving around and the boats travelling around, still genuinely should still just keep that.
I'm talking about though the hug.
The huggy ones.
Like go to out.
Definitely.
Mickey, Minnie, and
fingers crossed they will bring that back.
I want a hug.
We watched. Was it Mickey and Minnie was in the jungle outfit?
Yeah.
And we went and I seen that little girl. No, it was Winnie the Pooh, weren't it?
It was
Winnie
the Pooh, and
in the England thing.
Yeah, and hung on to him and cried. You'd have to tell that whole story. We've definitely told that before. But the interaction with the characters. I know they're doing a brilliant job with the socially distanced stuff, and I'm not saying they're not. But I want to get up close and personal with Mickey. I want to hug. You want to shake Captain America's hand, don't you? You know, we need to. I
actually fangirled. I was like, oh my god, he got off his trike, and he turned around to put his shield on. I went, how you doing, Cap? And he went, how you doing, son? Pleased to meet you. I was like, I couldn't talk.
So maybe the character meet and greets will be back.
Yeah.
So we can get up close and personal. Maybe fast passes might be back. Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe not. But maybe.
That
So
fast
that's
passing as well about paying for stuff that's causing
Oh
a bit
yeah.
of
Gosh, that's a saga, isn't it? It's
Disneyland Paris.
It's happening in Paris. Isn't
Disneyland Paris, €10. Is it €10 a ride?
It's French or something like that.
Zut law, as they say, I believe.
So we hope they don't bring that in Florida. But it would be nice to get fast passes back.
It would be nice. But again, we noticed this morning, was watching Nate and other vlogs, that the single rider lines are reopened.
Yeah.
And they didn't do it with a hurrah and fanfare. It was like,
We just
single
noticed
rider
that.
lines are open. So in you go.
More things are opening. Obviously, for the rest of you that are travelling later on in the year, September, October, we suspect everything will be back
Please
packed to full strength for
tag us
you.
in photos and bring Park Max back for us
And wave at us, give us a
us.
shout.
And just do half hour walking around Walmart and film it. 'Cause I miss, and Target.
And Target, because we miss
Publix.
We're going to miss those things this year. But we hope everything will be open by then. But obviously, the time we were going, which was in a week on Saturday's time, these things wouldn't have been back, and things are only some resorts are still not open. So we'd have probably missed out. On some of that.
I even cancelled my day off before the holiday thing. I'd booked at work so I could go and get my haircut, get a fresh fade, and get the giddy and get packing, and I cancelled that at work, and that was a sad day. Clocking in on the Kronos system, give it cancel.
I, on the other hand, have continued to leave my appointments all available, so I should be going to Scotland potentially with tropical nails, false eyelashes, and
I might as well then.
a spray tan and a nude do.
I've got my new Alton Towers shirt.
That's true. I went Stars and Stripes today. Also, we were thinking, one of the things that's bothered us about this upcoming trip was all this whole testing and not that we have a problem with it, but it was just like knowing what to book and when to get it, and you've got to have this test at 72 hours before, and you've got to get that.
Can you book it at the airport the same morning and go? And then
what if you got to the airport and tested positive and couldn't go? Or
and now we've been reading.
Didn't come through in time.
Every day now you've been reading things about people coming back on flights, and there's like 6 and 7 hour and 8 hour delays at Heathrow. The one was it said like waiting to get back in because everything's got to be checked. I'm like, oh, come on.
So we were.
I'm done with it now.
Yeah. So we were saying that hopefully, and again, who knows? Because who forecasted any of this? But if we're thinking about this time next year, we would like to be hopeful that we don't have to jump through a million hoops and take £200 worth of tests to get on a flaming aeroplane.
Yeah.
I suspect that will all still have gone by later on this summer. To be honest with you, I do. But for us going in July, that would still have been a very definite thing. So
it's confused now because like everybody said at the start of all these hoo-ha with the vaccinations, it seemed to me that every country said that as long as you're vaccinated, no matter what you've had vaccination wise, as long as you're vaccinated, you're good to go. And now it's all this political machinations like Germany, you can't come into our country. I don't really want a holiday in Germany, to be fair, but it's nice, but I don't want to go there.
It's just that this is the confusion at the moment, isn't it? But so for us, that would.
Have you had the Indian version of AstraZeneca? That's the big stumbling block as well.
We don't get into the political.
No, I'm just saying it's like it's so confusing. And we actually said the other day, anyway. I was talking to somebody, and I was saying that we've actually physically stopped watching the news now because it's that you get to that point. It's just like information overload. You're like, I can't now. Looking like what's his name from Home Alone.
Yeah,
Kevin. You just can't. I'm like, now turn the news off now.
Because the other thing was we were watching the news constantly to try and find out whether our trip was potentially happening. So I suppose, although now that it's not, and we're not thrilled about that, but at least we don't. I don't say don't care because of course we care, but it doesn't matter to us now whether the border opens by July or not, because we're not going. No. So that's it.
We just pray to God, or whoever's up there, that our friends on here, like we've mentioned before, that you guys get to go.
I hope.
I'll be heartbroken if anybody else misses the trip. I will genuinely be heartbroken.
If any of you put on, on your feeds that you've had to have your trips cancelled, will be devastated for you. But you can join in with our devastation. You can please give us a call and we'll have a cry together. But
I did say we'll all meet up in Blackpool.
It's not quite the same, is it?
Woo!
Roller coasters.
Get me gloom juice and me drizzles
So we could rant on forever about it all, but all we're saying is, it's happened. We're trying to look forward to next year. You just spilt your coffee, haven't you?
Yes.
We're trying to look forward to next year. We're trying to get excited. There's lots of things about it, like we've just mentioned, to be excited about. And one of the biggest things is that we can, once we're over our actual travel dates, because we still can't face it just yet, but we will get the countdown back on, and we'll start getting excited about things again, and hopefully that run up to it will be excitement all the way.
Yeah,
we won't have to be worrying.
I haven't physically deleted the park passes yet.
He hasn't, no.
Because I'm sort of like, I just can't. I look on my Disney Experience app and it keeps going, oh, so many days till Albie's Cantina. I'm like, no, I can't delete that.
We've got to do that.
I had to ring Mickey himself to get that booking.
Somebody else can use them, so we will do that today probably. But we hadn't also, because the lovely Glenn from Dial a Flight, who we mentioned earlier, although Virgin had cancelled all of our flights, he had on hold for us a Delta flight. Yeah. So that if by any chance something happened in the next week to 10 days, there was a possibility that we might be able to go on this Delta flight. But we've only got, I mean, that, you know, it's not going to happen, to be honest. But we've got so many days before. So as we mentioned earlier, Glenn from Dial a Flight had got on hold for us a Delta flight when Virgin cancelled all of our flights, and he still is on hold for us at the moment. So that if anything happened in the next week or so, we could have a mad scramble and try and put everything back together. It's not going to happen. We'd have heard by now. I'm pretty sure, if the border was going to open. It is what it is. But he has been super helpful. So, and the other thing I would say about that is, because we've had a lot of your work colleagues, a lot of other friends who've booked with Virgin who are ranting and
I work with three of the guys who are on literally the same flight as us.
If you look at their feed, and there's a lot of controversial and negative comments about Virgin just cancelling stuff and nowhere. Well, because we booked with Dial a Flight, we knew immediately. They rang us, they talked to us about our options, they asked us what we wanted to do. We haven't had to deal with Virgin to get our refund. We haven't had to deal with any of that. Glenn, Dial a Flight, sorted, got it, there it is. When you're ready, when the flights come out, we'll rebook you. We haven't been on hold for like hours on end trying to get hold of somebody to find out what's going on.
I actually feel sorry for Glenn,
it's all been taken care of.
Because he said when we spoke to him, he's like, a lot of people that are working from home, and he's been saying like it's heartbreaking for him because he turns his computer on and it's just a sea of bad news. He has to ring up. I mean, who wants to ring up people and give them bad news about the holiday that was postponed from last year? I wouldn't like that job. No. Generally, I wouldn't like that job. But
on the bright side, things are that you can. There are a lot of places you now can go to. Obviously, we can't go to Florida, and we don't really want to go anywhere else at the moment. So that's it. But for lots of other people, it is good news, and there are lots of places you can go to, and so the flights are open. So we would say to you all, use your local travel agents,
good luck, bon voyage. Ring Dial a Flight.
Ring Dial a Flight. Book somewhere, do something, and we'll just we'll wait out the storm a bit longer and see what happens. But so that's it really. That's brought you up to date. That's pretty much where we are. So bad news.
The only other thing we will say as well, that Chris and Susan from Ear to Ear Magic, is that they work for They work for a travel company called Travelmation, independent travel agents, and they're actually looking at sorting out next year's hotel stay for us as well. Mm-hmm. So they're going to try and sort out a video chat with them soon, so we can get on board and what we like, what we dislike, where we want to stay. Do we want to go top floor, bottom floor, wherever?
Yeah, we're just hoping that because they're experts, and we've stayed at a couple of Disney properties and resorts, but we haven't really got an expert knowledge of lots of them, so we're going to get their advice and see what they think and see what they can get us. So that's good for us too.
We do know it's going to be more expensive next year, obviously, compared to this year. But
well, we've missed 2 holidays, so I'm quite happy with that situation. Yeah, let's just spend
it. Throw some money at it.
Let's do that. So that's it really. That's brought you up to speed. Hope you have a good week. For all of our UK vloggy friends.
Yes.
Please do get excited about your trips. I'm sure that later on, in the next few weeks, things will change for everything, and we will be delighted if you get to go. Yeah, and
genuinely, I'm not upset if somebody else gets to go. I will be so happy for you. So genuinely,
we're keeping everything crossed for you, and please, do let us know if you go in, and keep us posted and send us some nice photos and let us look at all your fun.
Don't forget the park maps.
Don't forget our park maps. Somebody, yes please, because we really like some of them.
We had some of a couple of years ago, didn't we?
We did. A colleague of mine bought some, and then but they're obviously pretty outdated now. So we'd like some. So just for reference purposes. Yeah. So we'll check in with you soon. We have got some other plans for our 2 weeks off. Nowhere near as exciting or exotic as Orlando. Nope. But I still might get my pretty nails and my eyelashes done now. Well, I am. We'll catch you all soon. Let's hope things are going great in Florida. So hopefully it's all going in the right direction. So
Yeah.
please have a good week, and we'll catch up with you soon. And
Yep.
hopefully next time we speak to you, we'll tell you where we've booked.
Bye now.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.